whether Arsenal without Jesus can maintain this run of games. Jim, they won the first 5 games of the season. They lost to Manchester United. They won 7 out of the last 8, Arsenal, to go, what is it now, 5 points clear of Man City. So it's going to be very interesting. And Newcastle in 3rd position, quite remarkable.
It's absolutely intriguing. Not least, as you rightly mentioned, Martin, can Arsenal stay top of the shop? Now, over there, Simon, as you know, you were with me when it happened. We spoke to the likes of, on World Cup matters, Kaká, Del Piero, Gabriel Batistuta. One of the most approachable guys that we spoke to in the fortnight we were there over in Qatar, undoubtedly Switzerland and Arsenal's Granit Xhaka. And I spoke to Xhaka length on a couple of occasions, but what he did emphasise, you'll love this, Martin, the absolute necessity for everyone at Arsenal to hit the ground running as soon as they get back.
I mean, nobody can take us the first 14, 15 games. I think we deserve to be there where we are at the moment, but we know that we have still another long way to go to win the Premier League. We are looking very, very dangerous, in my opinion. Great team, great spirit. And let's hope that we can show the same games that we did in the first couple of games.
How did they do that, Martin, and look dangerous without Gabriel Jesus? Because he helped them in that area, didn't he?
It may be an area that they look to try and strengthen, because they do need... Nketiah is someone I do feel, though, is vastly improved, Jim, in the opening games of the season, but I don't think he's going to get the goals. He didn't get the goals at the end of the last season. Jesus coming in was raised the bar somewhat. Zinchenko, both of those players were quite exceptional. Of course, Saka and Martinelli will still have to keep on pitching in with their contribution. And I think the likes of Xhaka is very important to get the team back on track. The manager, of course, is hugely ambitious, as is Edu and his staff, and they will want to start off where they left off, and they play Boxing Day against West Ham. So a game at home that they should feel that they can go and win. But Jim, to get any kind of rhythm and to fall back into it is a lot to ask. But they should be able to do it with the confidence they got. And the home game being is really important for me, the home game.
But you think there's a necessity for Arsenal going to the market?
They may well want to look at that.
Before the end of January.
We don't know yet. The latest I heard, Jesus was late in coming back as he was staying with the Brazilian team. Of course, once they went out, he could come back. I've not heard the latest. It was talk of being out for 3 months, which is a hammer blow for Arsenal. You don't want to be saying at the end of the season, well, if it wasn't for a World Cup, we could have been champions again.
Well, he's had his operation, we know that. He was pictured laid up in hospital.
Well, let's wish him well and he gets back as soon as possible, because he was in an outstanding form, although gone a number of games without scoring.
Yeah. The thing I remember from talking to Granit Xhaka was not just how impressed I was by him, but the absolute drive he's got, Simon, that Arsenal make history this season. They put themselves in the position. Now it's a question of staying there and finishing it off.
Well, yeah, he was a very nice boy, wasn't he? But also, he recognises the change in the circumstances that surround him, and the changes that he's made, and the change in the culture of that football club, and he sees it now as an opportunity to advance and build upon that. And so, he looks back. I think we discussed it with him very briefly about the situation manifested itself 2 or 3 years ago, where he was public enemy number one. It's a very different dynamic now, and that's as much to do with the change of culture of Arsenal Football Club and the team that's on the pitch, also as much to do with potentially his approach. I think the narrative was building up prior to the Gabriel Jesus injury that would Arsenal go and back the opportunity that might be in front of them. They have an opportunity to win the Premier League in the minds and eyes of people that are watching the current situation. I still think it'll be Man City, but the perception was that they're top of the league, they're 5 points clear. This is a moment, you grasp these moments, and the narrative was being built up that they would spend some money potentially. I think they're going to have to, in order to maintain this, because if they don't, there will be this underlying allegation that they didn't back or support the opportunity.
There's quite a bit of debt, though, wasn't there? The last reports of financial, 42 million, I believe, in debt. So, do you know what I think, Jim? What we should be
looking at in football terms.
Well, is it? I mean, what we should be looking at really is the special unity that now exists on a match day. I think that's really the biggest change that Xhaka would have experienced. It was a bit toxic, shall we say, at the end or the beginning of Emery and all around that period. Now there's a special unity between the fans. The fans now believe in the team, and they welcome them back, Jim, from the World Cup. They've been starved of football. Of course, they've been watching it on TV, but the live experience is nothing else like it. And I just feel that will be enough to get them back on the road the first game out.